Going on today? I'm going to talk about my disciplinary literacy resource, and I'm going to answer these questions. So, question number one was, what process did you use to find your resource? Honestly, I asked a few teachers for any movie examples that they could think of that was dealing with disciplinary literacy. The movie Lean on Me came out most of the time from a lot of teachers, but I honestly didn't feel that that was something I was looking for or the resources I was looking for. So I really didn't use it. And ironically, what ended up happening was I was actually talking to one teacher. One day we were just talking about disciplinary literacy, and she mentioned Marvel Collins, and I had never heard of her. And she was like, she told me a little bit about it that she knew, and she told me that I should look into it because it might be something that I could use for this assignment actually. And so after we finished talking, I actually went to my class and I googled who she was. I read up on it, did a little research, and she sounded like she was somebody that that I could look at and actually might enjoy the movie. So I saw that there was a movie and it was actually on YouTube. So I actually sat down and watched the movie, and it was actually a pretty good movie, and it was something that I could use for this assignment. So that's how I actually found my resource. Number two was it easy to find a resource or difficult? I'm gonna say it wasn't a hard thing in my opinion. I mean, because if you click on YouTube, there's countless of videos that's listed dealing with disciplinary literacy, but I didn't want to just do um, the same thing that everybody else was doing. I want to do something different. But what the hardest thing was trying to narrow down exactly what I was looking for dealing with this assignment. So that was the hardest part. So finding a resource wasn't really that hard for me. Number three, what did you discover about disciplinary literacy during this process? I actually learned that disciplinary literacy can be shown in a lot of different ways. There is no certain correct way or wrong way to actually get this done. After watching this movie, I feel real confident in seeing how things could take place within a classroom by doing certain things, expecting certain things, and not allowing certain things to go on within a classroom. You know what I mean? I mean by like setting standards or holding kids accountable and things of that nature, pushing them farther than than you normally would in order to make them reach where they're going. In my honest opinion, I feel that a book can only show you so much because you're only gonna read it and you're not really getting an example, an in-depth example. But by seeing this movie, it actually gives although it's written and it's a movie, you still get the chance to actually see how things happen. So that's really how I feel pretty good and how I actually learned uh, a little more about disciplinary literacy in this process. Number four, why did you choose your resource? Uh, I feel that this resource would give a lot of different examples of how disciplinary literacy is used in more than one way. I mean, like I stated, how I found my resource. Uh, I was talking to the teacher about movies and things of that nature, just about disciplinary resource, and how and what exactly I was looking for. And after doing a little research about Marvel Collins, I felt like this would be something that I could really use. So she shows a lot of different ways that you can actually use disciplinary literacy, and not only that, she also used different tactics, techniques, like for classroom management and other things that we've learned. So it's just not one certain area that this movie actually uh, went over, but it's actually quite a few, and so that's why I really chose this resource. Number 5, did you choose it for professional growth or classroom use or both? I actually started out choosing this resource for probably professional growth, but by the end of the movie, I really feel like I could actually use it for both. For like example, when a kid is struck for professional growth, it's self-explanatory. It gives me different aspects on how to do things. For professional growth, how to get better and things like that. But for my classroom in general, for example, in the movie when a kid was struggling to for her ABC, she didn't know how to say her ABCs. Uh, Marvel Collins, she um, she reinforced that the kid, she reinforced positivity to the kid, and that's something that I noticed that I have to do better at myself and do in different ways. So, um, because I have found myself getting frustrated by me giving instructions or giving an assignment I feel should be basic knowledge when kids they actually don't know. So it's not their fault. It's something that I actually have to work on. So I feel like it'll go both professional growth. Professional growth, and also as well in my classroom. How do you know that it is research based? This is based on a true story that actually happened in Chicago in 1975. So this is basically a documentary. So it has to be researched in order for this to actually be a documentary. And you can also go back and read about what happened and how things went about. So it actually has to be researched for this to become um, what it has. It has to be researched to get the proper meaning across. Next question: which resource needs to be modified for your use? I actually don't feel that it needs to be modified for my classroom because although I'm teaching 9 through 10th grade, 9 through 12th graders, um, they can mainly be put in the same category as the kids in the movie uh, because a lot of knowledgeable things that I expect them to know at the beginning of the year as well as sometimes this year they don't know. So for example, the girl that didn't know how to say her ABCs, that seemed like basic knowledge. And in a computer class, uh, I have students that don't know how to open a file, how to save a file, how to change the font on a document and things of that nature. So it's simply basic knowledge that that you would expect a kid to know, especially being in a certain class, or you would feel that they've actually went over within a class and they don't know. So the way that she did things, it really doesn't have to be modified because I actually have sat down and thought about how could I implement some of the things she done in the movie to my classroom and also be successful and have the kids successful at learning and things of that nature. So overall, I give this movie a pretty good rating. It's something good that I enjoy watching. It also gave me a chance to learn something different. So that's about it for this video. So have a good day.